Hello and welcome to another episode of Clash of Clans with Jaw Wolf 18. Hope you guys like that new intro. Alright, so I joined the Goon Squadron and they have 100 wins here. I was like, what? How do you have 100 wins and you're level 6? Because I've been in plenty of clans that are level 6, they only have like 50 wins. Alright, so the first thing that came to mind was that, a lot of those wins for like a long time ago, because I've been in like a clan called Battlehammer and they have 60 wins, but a lot of their wins for a long time ago. Alright, so let's jump over to the new beginning and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. See how this clan has 54 wins and they're level 6. So yeah, I mean, they're the same exact level, but the other one has like twice as many wins. And the reason is probably because, when you get into bigger wars, it's harder to win. The same thing with the Dragon's Den. They got 52 wins and they're level 6. But it's probably because they use about, 30 wars on, both of those clans. So it makes it a little bit more difficult. So, that basically means that the larger the war, the more experience you're going to get. But they already, announced that when they came up with these numbers. So the other thing is that it's easier to win smaller wars. And the reason for that is typically because the matchups are better. Your rival is a lot more close to your actual rank than, if you were to do like a 35 war. Because, 35 war might balance it out a little bit. Strong players versus, let's say, weak players in the top, and then in the bottom gets, reversed. So that's kind of what happens in some of the larger wars. But in the smaller wars, you could get screwed over too, though. Like if you're a Town Hall 9, and then you get matched up with a Town Hall 10, and if they have Inferno Towers, I mean, that's really hard to, beat that base. Even if that is a rush base, it still will be difficult. And then, right now I'm showing you guys, their Warlock. And their Warlock is basically 10s versus 10s. They do have some situation spots where they have, a 10 or a 15 versus 15. I'm going to go ahead and go back down and show you guys that in a little bit. But, that's pretty much as large of a war they go to is a 15 versus 15 war. Well, you only get like 150 experience points with that type of war. And then if you win, twice as big, you're getting like 300 per war experience-wise. So that's the major difference between those. But I think if you, kind of balanced it out with, 2 specific days you do large-scale wars, and then the rest of the week you do small wars. The reason for that is so that you can keep your, players sharp. Because I notice when you get into, larger wars, you start kind of getting crappier players, or they just don't, get as involved in it anymore, whatever. But whatever the reason is, typically in large wars, if they do them constantly, they start to do worse. So what I think might stop that is that you do like small scale wars, so that, their skills have to be there in order to win the small scale wars. And then when the large wars come, everybody has those set of skills that they need to beat the bases. But the larger wars may have more anti, 3-star bases, and they may end up using harder, attacks as well. So that's also another reason why you will want to be in a large-scale war as well, not just some of those small-scale wars. So the conclusion debate of large-scale wars versus small-scale wars, and, I personally think that, they're both a necessity. You need to have the small wars so that, you can weed out your weak, and then your large-scale wars are to just learn, the best attacks and go up against the best clans, and just, sharpen your skills. Alright, so I hope that helped you guys out to understand, why you need both of those types of wars inside your war logs at all times. So in the top left is actually one of the clan wars that I was in, and then in the top right is a Town Hall 8.5 breakdown. In the bottom left is the new tactics, Earthquake Double Lightning for Town Hall 8, and in the bottom right is a spotlight on my Town Hall 8 village. Alright, and go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Feel free to add me online. My ID is JawWolf18.